Hey, Mike, are you tired of the same old fantasy football leagues that you hear about online? They get canceled after a year or so?
Dude, everybody plays fantasy football.
Dynasty Owner has your back.
Dude,
Dynasty Owner unites the fun and excitement of fantasy football with the skill and strategy of the front office by incorporating a salary cap and real NFL player salaries for die-hard fantasy football fanatics that really want the real GM experience. It adds a whole new level of strategy to fantasy football. Then it's no more of this cheap Yahoo league. This is a full dedicated league to be participating in.
Dude,
they want you to have the real GM experience. It adds a whole new level of strategy to fantasy football. It's such a big difference maker that they hold 3 patents on it.
3?
Yes, 3. If you go to dynastyowner.com,
dude,
new leagues for the 2021 season are forming right now.
Are you worried you won't be able to find anyone to play in your league with?
Don't worry. Dynasty Owners can help you fill the league with fantasy football enthusiasts like yourself, so you don't have to worry about finding enough players.
Yeah, dude.
You can choose to start your own league, join a league that needs to be filled, or you can even purchase a team from a previous owner if you'd like to take that team to the championship. If you're finally serious about joining the big leagues,
dude,
go to dynastyowner.com and start your dynasty today.
Yeah, dude. Hey, Nathan.
What's up, Mike?
You're a big energy drink guy, right?
Yeah, I only have 1, if not 2 energy drinks a day.
You know that stuff is overloaded with sugar and ingredients you don't even know how to pronounce.
Yeah, I do.
Have you ever thought of having something that's a little bit more healthy?
Well, you know what? I need something with a little bit of caffeine kick because that's why I use the energy drinks.
Well, you might want to try something else. Try Focus. It's a sparkling water with a spark. Focus is a delicious, health-conscious, thoughtfully caffeinated sparkling water. It's infused with a boost of natural tea caffeine and the balance of L-theanine. You get the clean energy you want without the sugar, calories, or crash.
Wow, that sounds really interesting.
And they have a wide range of flavors, including blood orange, mixed berry, cherry cola.
Cherry cola?
Yeah, crisp apple, root beer, grapefruit.
I like root beer.
Yuzu and lime, cucumber and peach.
Ooh, where can I get some, Mike?
Go to www.drinkfocus.com. That's www.drinkfocus.com. And if you use our code TechTime at checkout, you will get 20% off.
20% off? Wow.
Yeah. Can't wait, can you?
I'm going to go buy one of these today. We would like to thank Podcorn for sponsoring this episode of TechTime Radio. Explore sponsorship opportunities and start monetizing your podcast by signing up at podcorn.com/podcasters. Let me tell you about Podcorn. Podcorn is an absolute must for any podcaster starting out. Now, when we started out TechTime Radio, we started out in a back office with a couple of mics. We expanded to a studio, and then now, as you can see, we're on the radio and have distribution into other markets. Having the ability to have Podcorn at the start of our podcast would have been a dream come true. Guess what? With Podcorn, you now have the amazing opportunity for podcasts to receive sponsorship, such as host reads, interview segments, and topical discussions. With Podcorn, there's no middleman. Podcasters of all sizes can browse and choose opportunities right on their platform, set their own rates, and collaborate with brands directly without exclusivities. You never give up the rights of your podcast in Podcorn, and they're here to support you everywhere possible. Visit podcorn.com. Again, that's podcorn.com. Podcorn is a true success for those starting their podcast dreams.
Coming to you from the shores of the Pacific Northwest, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to TechTime Radio, not with Nathan Mumm, as you can see.
Dude,
the show that makes you go, technology news of the week. The show for everyday the common person with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. I'm Mike Gorday, sitting in the Nathan Mumm seat today as we stream live from the studio here at KKNW, AM 1150. We're also live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. And if you are not getting this from Saturday from 4 to 6, what is it? It's a rebroadcast.
yes, it is. If you are listening on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, not 4 to 6 p.m., or Sunday, you are listening, to a rebroadcast.
I know you're trying, David, but I don't think you're going to get to be Nathan.
Well, I guess I'll just have to keep practicing off air.
I was going to say, it's a valiant effort, though.
Yes. So TechTime Radio is a 2-hour weekly technology show that talks about current technology in a simple format without having to geek out. On today's show, our first hour, we're going to be talking about technology mergers and how do these acquisitions affect Microsoft, Toyota, and Zynga, Valve's new Steam Deck, and how that compares to the Nintendo Switch. We also have our technical reviews. We have a gunshot detection technology now active at Virginia Beach Oceanfront. Microsoft announces Windows 365, a subscription cloud PC, and guess who returns as an emoji?
Your absolute favorite.
Clippy.
Clippy is back.
Clippy is back, but he's not going to be doing all that obnoxious clicking on your screen and asking you if you want to help.
I see you're trying to write an article. Can I help?
Yeah, that's right. Now he's just going to be an emoji. Maybe he'll be an unhappy emoji. I don't know. So we have Gwen sitting in for Mike, who is sitting in for Nathan. We will have Gwen's golden goodies today, and along with our whiskey tasting, all in the first hour packed with technology information. On our second hour, we are going to have our letter segment, which we will be reading letters about email scams and funny phishing attempts that Nathan gets on a regular basis. We also have our Ask the Expert segment with our friend and TechTime Radio regular guest, Phil Hennessy. Phil is the CEO of Morpheus Tech and a space enthusiast all the way from his childhood, attending space camps and all kinds of things. So the question we are going to be talking about is, will people be able to survive on Mars? Along with a review of the current billionaire space races and what makes them all different. Since Nathan is gone, anything is on the table, and we have going to have Gwen challenging myself and David to Two Truths and a Lie segment, talking about technology news.
It's a 2-on-1.
It's a 2-on-1, with one story not being factual. I am sure that during this hour, we will make you go, and hopefully make you laugh and have fun in technology. Welcome to 2 hours of TechTime Radio with your host, Mike Gourdet, and co-host Gwen Way. And where do you find us, Gwen?
You can find us all kinds of places, but the best place is techtimeradio.com. You can watch the stream live, sign up for our newsletter, listen and watch archived episodes, purchase merchandise.
Yes.
That's exciting. And our NFTs.
Yes.
And even ask us technology questions that we could talk about on the show.
Right. So right now is the time to engage us on Twitch TV /TechTime Radio and interact with our stream or send us a tweet at TechTime Radio. You can also call us in the studio here at 425-373-5527 or 1-888-298-KKNW. That is 1-888-298-5569. Be a part of the show. Now it's time to welcome Gwen back. So Gwen is our technical expert, since I am not as technically inclined as Nathan or she. And we're going to start off with our loaded question of the day. You ready?
Let's do it.
What is your secret to getting over a cold?
Sleep. Lots of sleep. The first sign of the sneezing and the coughing, I just curl up in bed and sleep it off.
You don't have any
I've tried a bunch of, chugging orange juice. I've tried the apple cider vinegar and cayenne pepper and a bunch of other stuff, but sleep is the best for me.
That's very boring.
I know. It's completely boring, but it works.
Okay. Well, that works. I know that I sleep a lot when I'm sick too. I just crash and go comatose for a couple of days, and then I usually get better.
Exactly.
All right. So that was our question of the day. Thank you, Gwen. And as always, we have our whiskey tastings during the commercials to see if our selected whiskey gets 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up. in our pick of the day. Make sure you listen all the way through to, I know.
It already has a couple of strikes against it. It's a screw top and it's
a plastic bottle.
Plastic bottle.
Yes, I think that was revenge.
Nathan's revenge.
Nathan's revenge. But, we'll still taste it and tell you what we think. So wait till the last end of the show to find out what makes you go, Now let's get our episode started with our top stories in the first 5 minutes.
What's happening in the world of technology? This is our top stories in the first 5 minutes.
Welcome to Top Stories, first 5 minutes. Story number 1, we already talked about it. Clippy has returned as an emoji. Microsoft's much maligned mascot Clippy is coming back from the dead.
I don't know if he was that maligned, though. I mean, you don't like him popping up and asking to help, but his animations were always fun, and people miss him. They know who he was.
Well, I liked him.
See, there you go.
Of course, it did get kind of, aggravating because he was always tapping on the screen, right? So Clippy the Paperclip was a simplistic virtual assistant who offered tips and advice to Microsoft Office users from 1997 until the mid-2000s. Its constant pop-ups to suggest help with the simplest of tasks, such as writing a letter, annoyed a lot of people. But Microsoft says it's now bringing back the design for its modern Office products. Clippy would replace the existing paperclip emoji in its Microsoft 365 products. Now, I didn't actually know that Microsoft had a paperclip emoji.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me. Emojis have become more and more a part of everyday language.
What's my hotkey for a paperclip emoji?
That I don't know, but we're going to have to find out for sure.
Okay. So this is going to be included in this cloud service and modern online version of Microsoft Office. Technology giant tweeted that they were bringing it back and it received only 20,000 likes within hours, but it has surpassed 100,000. So I guess people are really glad that Clippy's coming back.
Yeah.
Story number 2. Microsoft announces Windows 365, a subscription cloud PC. And I think we have an audio clip for that one.
Microsoft was working on a Windows in the cloud experience, which is basically that any device could run Windows directly in the web browser. All the processing is done on the cloud. The company announced Windows 365. So what exactly is Windows 365? You'll be getting the latest version of Windows in the cloud without having to install anything to your existing devices. So we don't know all the Windows 365 details just yet. We don't know how much it's going to cost. We don't know what kind of hardware is going to be running in the cloud as far as your performance and everything goes. Microsoft has said that it is going to release Windows 365 on August 2nd of this year.
All right, so there you go. Microsoft has announced the new cloud PC product where you can stream Windows devices from anywhere, which basically works like a game streaming where the computer is done on a data center somewhere remotely and streamed to that device. That means all sorts of devices, including tablets or Apple Macs or full Windows desktop PC, which if you have a Windows PC, would I need to have a cloud service?
You wouldn't need to necessarily. This is very reminiscent of an old technology, which was basically where you had a dumb terminal that was running off of a server.
Okay. So it's really sort of just repackaging like Windows 11.
It's what Microsoft does. It's not necessarily a bad thing, and it could be very interesting. It's also kind of close to the Chromebooks that were very popular for a very long time.
Okay. Well, it's being sold to businesses to begin with, as many firms move to a mix of office and remote working. So we're going to see how that works. But as all Microsoft is marketing a new way of using the PC as a hybrid Windows for a hybrid world. Again, this is one of those things that have occurred because of the pandemic. Story number 3. Gunshot technology, or gunshot detection technology, is now active at the Virginia Beach Oceanfront. A gunshot detection system that went live Wednesday at the Virginia Beach Oceanfront promises to notify authorities of gunfire within seconds of it occurring. The technology, called ShotSpotter, alerts dispatchers automatically when it detects gunfire, potentially eliminating the need for somebody to call 911. Virginia Beach Police Chief Paul Newdigate said in a statement that we expect the use of this new technology in Virginia Beach will assist the police and community in holding those engaged in gun violence accountable. With sensors live, the Virginia Beach police say they will respond to all reports of gunfire in the system's coverage area. The acoustic sensors detection range covers 2 square miles, but city officials plan to expand the coverage area in the coming months based on historical crime data. Police won't say exactly where the sensors are going to be located.
Smart.
Yeah. They are running the gunshot detection program on a trial basis funded by ShotSpotter. A spokesperson... Man, I can't even talk today. There's the hand. A spokesperson for the department said they fully anticipate entering a formal contract with the company after the trial period. Now,
I think that's pretty exciting, honestly. It's a combination of a lot of my interests. On one hand, we've got the technology and the obvious use of machine learning, where you have to program a computer to recognize gunshots versus fireworks or, cars having issues, things like that.
Right. That was one of the questions that we brought up, and apparently it has a capability of separating those out so that it knows if there's a firework going off versus a gunshot versus a...
Which is pretty exciting, and I'm sure that there will be some false positives, but as the program continues, there will probably be fewer and fewer.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. So, Gwen, our time is up through our top stories in the first 5 minutes. If you want to learn more about this, please visit us online at www.techtimeradio.com and click on our episode section or blog to get even more details on these stories and features. Now it is time to get ready for our whiskey tasting at the break. But up next, we have our Technology Insider segment with use. Looking at the increasing trend of technology mergers in some key companies that will impact our landscape in the coming months.
Worked for you, didn't it?
Oh, you've been waiting for that. Yep. How does this change the landscape for Microsoft, Toyota, and Zynga? We will explore this right after a break. You're listening to TechTime Radio with Mike and Gwen.
Hey, Mike, as a business owner, why do we form an LLC or a corporation?
Well, that's pretty simple. We want to protect ourselves personally from the liability of the company.
That's right, Mike. The very next thing we should be doing as business owners is protecting ourselves personally from the finances of the company.
Right. Yeah, that's why you want to get help, and you can get help from The Business Doctor, which was founded by Dr. Glenn Smith, PhD in business management, accounting, and finance. Schedule your free business evaluation and consultation at thebusinessdoctor.us.
Enroll in the Rapid Business Credit Builder program and get up to 100K business credit under the company's EIN and the DUNS number in less than 6 months. The DUNS number is really important for your rating on when you purchase other items from other businesses, never having to use personal credit ever again. That's thebusinessdoctor.us or call 866-383-1030. Again, that's 866-383-1030 or thebusinessdoctor.us.
Visit The Business Doctor today.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, have you heard of the Highbrow Drivel?
No, but it sounds smarty pants to me.
Highbrow Drivel delivers hilarious takes from serious experts. Every week, comedian Anthony Janot introduces one of his comedian friends to an academic, scientist, politician, or expert of some kind.
Oh, yeah? And what do they do?
Over the course of roughly an hour, the group will offer thought-provoking topics, expert guests, and hilarious commentation.
Well, that sounds awesome.
Host Anthony Janot is critically acclaimed stand-up comedian who has sold out shows in Australia, England, Scotland, Sweden, and more. But we're talking specifically about his podcast now called The Highbrow Drivel. Topics range from ethics and artificial intelligence to astronomy and dinosaurs.
Really? Oh, I love dinosaurs. Do they talk about owls?
Every week, it's a new comedian, a new expert, but the same Highbrow Drivel. Highbrow Drivel is available on all major podcast players and at www.highbrowdrivel.com. Again, that's www.highbrowdrivel.com.
Yeah, that sounds like smart nonsense. Can't wait to listen.
Welcome back to Tech Time Radio. We just had our first whiskey tasting today. We're calling this Nathan's Revenge.
It's entertaining, I'll put it that way.
I think that's the best possible name for it.
Yes. Today, Nathan has chosen for us R&R Canadian. That's rich and rare. 1.75 liter. Aromas of vanilla, buttercream, praline, and delicate mocha follow through on a soft, brisk entry into a dry, light to medium body with a nice oily texture.
I mean,
and a smooth, lightly peppery fade.
The oily texture I get, but honestly, the only smell I smell is burning.
Yes. The whiskey is 80 proof and is $14 a bottle. This is one of the most cost-effective whiskey.
Now we know why it's only $14.
Right?
Hello, is this thing on?
So initially, what do you think there, Gwen?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that if you have $14, you should buy something else.
You should save it and buy a better whiskey.
Exactly.
Okay, well, we're certainly going to be chatting with Nathan when he gets done with his stuff.
We'll have words.
So now that we got the drinks out of the way, we've got our technology insider ready to start over. Ready?
Welcome to Technology Insider. We get the information directly from the source.
Welcome to Technology Insider, where you get the information in the field of technology with an inside look from our experts. On today's segment, we're going to talk about technology mergers. And, coming from the less technical field, my first question is, why do I care about this?
Technology mergers can eventually affect how everybody utilizes programs. So it ends up affecting everybody one way or the other.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about Zynga. We know that, for those of you who might not know what Zynga is a gaming platform.
It is.
Right.
And it came to fame using Farmville on Facebook back in the early 2000s and has just kind of continued to grow. They're all mobile platform games. Mm-hmm. So,
well, Zynga has entered into an agreement to acquire Chartboost. So, Zynga, being a global leader in interactive entertainment, announced it has entered into a definitive agreement to acquire Chartboost, a leading mobile programmatic advertising and monetization platform.
So basically what this means is if you are playing Zynga games, you are going to see more ads, possibly better integrated, but there's going to be a lot more pay to play.
All right. So along with this talented team, Chartboost brings a global audience of more than 700 million monthly users and more than 90 billion monthly advertising auctions. Together, Zynga and Chartboost possess all the elements of a complete next-generation platform: high-quality content, direct player relationships, massive reach, and full-stack advertising technology that can be applied across all of Zynga's games. Chartboost is one of the most dynamic monetization and discovery platforms in the mobile market, and we could not be more excited to welcome their talented team to our company, said Frank Gabeau, Chief Executive Officer of Zynga. By combining Zynga's high-quality games portfolio and first-party data with Chartboost's proven advertising and monetization platform, we will create a new level of audience scale and meaningfully enhance our competitive advantage in the mobile ecosystem. We are thrilled to join with Zynga to further build and expand our full-stack advertising platform that will serve Zynga and the entire mobile ecosystem, said Rich Izzo, Chief Executive Officer of Chartboost. Together, we share a vision of the future where a combined advertising, analytics, and content platform will accelerate growth across both our companies. Zynga already feels like family and is an extension of our own company culture.
So in other words, if you already think that mobile games are addictive,
they're going to be more addictive.
Get ready.
Yep. So Zynga will acquire 100% of Chartboost for approximately $250 million. The final upfront transaction consideration will also include customary closing adjustments that's expected to close in the third quarter of this year. So, awesome. Now, Toyota Tech plans to acquire self-driving.
Which is interesting. It seems almost as if they are taking the Prius up a step to compete with Tesla more.
Okay. So Toyota Motor Core software and technology arm plans to embark on an ambitious hiring and acquisition spree as automakers globally jostle for the pole position in the race to develop smart cars that will one day drive themselves.
Now we just need them to fly.
That would be nice. We also need to be able to drive them in the snow, according to some of our other experts. James Kuffner, CEO of Woven Planet Holdings, Inc., the unit charged with leading the world's largest car maker through an era in which the lines between technology and automobiles are increasingly blurred, said he's looking to double or quadruple the size of the company in the next couple of years. Acquisitions are already being made apace. Woven Planet says it plans to acquire Carmera, Inc., a U.S. firm specializing in mapping for autonomous vehicles, the latest in a flurry of deals in the autonomous mobility space that the company has made since it was established earlier this year. In April, Woven Planet spent $550 million buying Lyft, Inc.'s self-driving division. Carmera, which produces high-definition roadmap based on data gathered from vehicle-mounted cameras, is one such purchase. The companies didn't disclose any acquisition price. Now, just like sensors, maps are an important part of autonomous driving, helping a car navigate through lanes, adjust speed, and respond to traffic signals on its own. Woven Planet's solution aims to tackle one of the trickiest elements of mapping, keeping road information like lane markings, signs, and traffic signals updated in near real time, which is one of the main problems with self-driving cars now.
Exactly, and it's a huge problem with mapping software now. My parents got their very first GPS system.
Oh, yeah.
Immediately after one of the main thoroughfares in Phoenix was completed.
Yeah.
And so we took a trip, and the GPS kept telling us to turning around because it didn't know where we were. It thought we were just driving off the road.
Yeah, I still have problems with mine where I outdrive my GPS, and it can't keep up.
Can't keep up?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I don't know how these autonomous cars are going to do. They're going to end up parking in your yard or something.
It'll be interesting.
All right. And finally, Microsoft is acquiring cybersecurity company RiskIQ. And Gwen's laughing.
Yeah, this was definitely put in for me.
Because we were supposed to talk about something last week, Nathan.
I was not going to throw Nathan under the bus, but since we already are.
I'm for geeking out too much last week like you did.
That's right.
And I had to throw stuff out. Yeah, I'm going to throw stuff at him from now on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was a fairly large exploit that Microsoft advertised how to take advantage of back in April.
Mm-hmm.
It was called Print Nightmare.
Yes.
And it jumped into the news last week. So I'm just saying, Nathan, if you had talked about it last week, you would have been ahead of the curve.
That's what you get for giving us R&R, buddy.
But yeah, so it was a huge exploit. Microsoft told everybody how to utilize it, and then it took them multiple patches to actually be able to fix it.
Yeah, they couldn't fix it right off the bat, right? So a lot of people were left
Exactly.
in the wind.
Exactly. So the day that they released the patch that actually worked, they also announced that they were buying RiskIQ, which is cybersecurity.
Yes, which is funny. So Microsoft spent a reported $500 million to buy the popular cloud security company. RiskIQ said last year that its cybersecurity programs are used by 30% of the Fortune 500, more than 6,000 total organizations across the world, including the U.S. Postal Service, BMW, Facebook, and American Express. In a blog post, Microsoft Cloud Security Vice President Eric Doerr said that they were acquiring the company to help customers build a more comprehensive view of the global threats to their businesses, better understand vulnerable internet-facing assets, and build world-class threat intelligence.
And maybe fix the Microsoft bugs.
In the last year, Microsoft has purchased IoT security firms CyberX and Refirm Labs to boost its cybersecurity offerings. Microsoft paid the $5 million in cash, Bloomberg reported. Well, how do you feel about that?
I mean, it's good that Microsoft is taking these steps. They're a little late, but they're trying to get better.
Well, we often talk about Microsoft being one of the best security firms out there.
And in many ways they are. They've got one of the best antivirus programs that they offer to Windows users for free, which is excellent. But at this point, they need to get in front of corporate issues as well as personal PC issues.
Okay. All right. Well, that ends our segment for Technology Insider. As the technology landscape is drastically changing this year, 2021 should be called the year of bringing back normal acquisitions, I guess. As we head out to our commercial break, we want to make sure you visit our website and sign up for our newsletter. On the top of the page, you will get a monthly newsletter with information from Nathan and all the staff. When we return, we'll have our Gamer Time segment looking at the Steam portable device that is coming out that looks very much like the Nintendo Switch. Will this new hardware from Steam be something that sticks? We have our opinions, and we will share them after the break. This is Tech Time Radio. Thanks for being part of the show.
Did you know that up to 12 to 15% of Americans grind their teeth at night while they sleep? Yeah, it's called bruxism. I used to work at a sleep lab, and we used to measure that, and it leads to a lot of problems like headaches and destroys your teeth. It wears down the enamel, and it's just very hard on your mouth.
So every once in a while I'll wake up, my jaw will hurt. Do you think I'm grinding my teeth at night?
Yeah.
Well, so how do you go about protecting this then?
The number one recommended way of protecting yourself from teeth grinding is what's called a night guard, which is a custom fitted prosthetic that you put inside your mouth. It usually runs, hundreds of dollars, but I know our sponsor, Smile Brilliant, can get you custom fitted night guards for as little as $45 a piece.
So if you go to smilebrilliant.com and use TechTime Radio at checkout, you can receive 20% off your complete order. So visit smilebrilliant.com and use the TechTime Radio at checkout code.
Bad Nathan. What did you say it was the worst things you don't like about NyQuil?
It's all the things I don't like about NyQuil and none of the things that I do.
All right, welcome back to Tech Time Radio with not Nathan Mumm, who's going to get an earful about this liquor that he foisted on us.
Oh,
So tune in next week. It should be really entertaining.
That's right. Before the break, we talked a little bit about Steam's new portable device. So let's get right to our next segment. All right, so Valve has a surprising new Steam Deck, which has been officially announced, promising to let players take their whole Steam library of games on the go. How does that handheld compare to the major consoles on the market, like the Nintendo Switch?
it looks very, very, very much like the Switch.
It looks like they got the PSP, the Xbox, and the Switch all together and mushed them together.
Smushed them. I could see that. The one thing that it has in terms of disadvantage against the Switch is you can't take the controllers off the side, so you're stuck with that big bulky thing all the time.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that. But hasn't Steam tried this before?
Steam has had similar things, yeah. And to be honest with you, some of them worked out well, but the big problem is that, of course, everything is running off Steam servers.
Right.
And when they tried it about 5 years ago, the network wasn't really in place to allow it to work well.
Well, for those of you who might not know what Steam is a platform which allows you to
play games.
And, you know, I use it quite a bit I have a ton of Steam games, and
at this point, most people do, yeah.
I think most people who are into gaming actually know about this. I actually prefer this format for myself because it allows me to use it from my laptop.
Exactly, and it doesn't take up a large footprint of disk storage,
right?
Which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, it ends up working out well for a lot of people.
All right, well, let's look at the Steam Deck's specs. It's powered by an AMD APU with a quad-core 8-thread Zen 2 CPU and an AMD RDNA 2 GPU with 8 compute units alongside 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM. Can you translate that for me?
Which means that it will play games relatively quickly. You're not going to have a lot of lag.
Mm-hmm.
And it will actually be able to display the games well. So you're not going to have bad graphics that you're playing with.
Okay, that's good to know. With all those little letters, I have no idea what I just said. So there are 3 models available. One with 64 gigabytes of eMMC storage for $399. One with 256 gigabytes NVMe SSD for $529, and a top-of-line model with 512 gigabytes of high-speed NVMe SSD storage for $649. What's SSD?
SSD is solid-state drive.
Okay.
That is a storage that actually works more quickly. You remember the old hard drives that used to sound like airplanes taking off?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So those actually have to spin in order for the computer to be able to read the data.
Right.
Solid state drives do not spin up, so it's much faster for the computer to just pull the data off.
Okay. While the base eMMC storage configuration could potentially mean slower game installs and load times, Valve promises that there is no in-game difference in frame rates or graphics quality among the 3 models.
So there's not going to be more lag.
Right.
It's just going to take a little longer to load up initially.
Which I don't know. In today's thing may get a lot more problematic answers. The most obvious comparison for the Steam Deck is, of course, Nintendo Switch, particularly the upcoming OLED model, which offers a similar handheld configuration, screen size, and design. Both devices feature 720p touchscreen displays, too. Of the two, the Switch is almost certainly the less powerful device. It features NVIDIA's Tegra X1 chipset, an ARM-based processor that's over 4 years old, compared to the Steam Deck's AMD Zen 2 CPU and next-gen RDNA 2 GPU. Architectures that also appear in the PS5 and Xbox Series X's. The Steam Deck also has been shown off handling games that Switch simply can't do, like Control, which is only available as a cloud-streamed option on Nintendo's handheld. And other showcase games like Jedi Fallen Order or No Man's Sky have never been available in a portable form factor before.
Which is pretty exciting, honestly.
That we can play No Man's Sky on a handheld?
Oh, yeah. I would take that with me on a commute.
Yeah. I have No Man's Sky, and it's a nice game to play. I'm not sure what Control is. I haven't played that one, but we'll leave that one for Nathan to talk about. So it is definitely more powerful than the Switch. But given that the two handhelds are closest together in form factor and price, is it still worth looking at them side by side, especially considering that even with the gap in performance, unlike the Switch, the Steam Deck swaps removable controllers from additional input methods. There's a pair of Steam controller-style trackpads on either side of the display, in addition to the thumbsticks, and 4 extra buttons on the backside of the device that serve as paddle-esque additional inputs. It also offers Bluetooth audio for connecting a pair of wireless headphones, something the Switch rather frustratingly lacks. Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a big one. And the controller looks like a spread out PlayStation.
Yeah.
Either the PS4 or the PS5 controller. So you've got the same buttons, and if you're used to using that instead of the Nintendo setup, that's going to be much easier for you.
Okay. So far the Switch doesn't sound like it's competing very well, but it does win out on battery life.
It wins out on battery life for sure.
Right. So the Switch battery life is about 4.5 to 9 hours, quoted for the Switch OLED, versus 2 to 8 hours on the Steam Deck, with Valve telling IGN that you can realistically expect 4 hours of Portal 2 at 720p and 60 frames per second. So that means if you're playing Portal 2, you can expect about 4 hours of play
before you have to plug
it back in.
Yep.
The Switch is also much lighter than the portable Steam Deck, which the Switch weighs about 0.93 pounds. The Switch Deck comes in at about 1.47 pounds.
Which doesn't sound like a lot, but if you're sitting there holding it up for 4 hours playing Portal 2,
well, that's where I kind of go off the freeway there, because if I'm going to be sitting around playing it for 4 hours, I'm probably going to be using a desktop or a laptop.
Fair. Fair.
So choosing between the $349 OLED Switch and the $399 Steam Deck will largely come down to preference. Do you prefer Nintendo's level of polish and lineup of exclusive games, or Valve's rougher around the edges but more powerful option with its extensive PC gaming library? And it is extensive.
Oh, yeah.
The Steam Deck has also some other advantages. Since it's a full-fledged PC, you can technically install Windows and leverage it as a portable Xbox Game Pass machine, which I do that as well on my laptop. You can install the Epic Game Store, which I have done on my laptop. And use it for streaming services like Stadia or Luna, which I have no idea what those are. And while that may feel like an unfair comparison, it's worth considering that the Steam Deck, which ranges in price from $399 to $649, is priced more in the same ballpark as those more premium console than the Switch, which we're talking about Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5.
PS5. And honestly, the types of games you get to play are well worth that additional price, I think. I love my Switch, don't get me wrong, and I enjoy playing the games that I'm only ever going to be able to play on Switch.
Well, that's Nintendo, right?
Exactly. That's always been Nintendo's gig. I've always had to have a Nintendo console and another console.
I got everything up to the Wii and then stopped.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Xbox. I'm not big in the PlayStation, so Xbox is my main console. And then Steam games on my PC.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. All right. So I know that you can pre-order this now, and I am guessing that Nathan has already previewed it, because there's a notation here that says Friday at 10 o'clock, he was online trying to get his Steam
Deck
to get it for a $5 deposit.
That does not surprise me in the least.
I know. So, yeah. Anything that's coming out, we know that Nathan is jumping on getting that as soon as he can. He got an Xbox.
Exactly. Nathan has the best tech toys, honestly.
He does. And he's got tech toys that are going to be coming at like 2025 because he's ordered all kinds of stuff. All right, so we're going to take another short break and try and finish off this stuff that is supposedly called whiskey.
I was gonna say, are there quotation marks around it?
It's Canadian whiskey. I'm really disappointed.
I was going to say allegedly whiskey.
Allegedly whiskey. So we're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, we're gonna do Gwen's golden goodies.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
So I just found out that 4.4 million people started business last year in the U.S. alone.
Yeah, I know. I was one of them. And I bet a whole bunch of those were e-commerce businesses.
That's right. A lot of them are growing so quickly now that they can't keep up with orders. This happened to someone I know. They started a business on Etsy. Then they moved to Amazon, and they're crushing it, and they make stickers. Pretty soon, they had too much inventory in their house. They were packing everything themselves, printing postage, going to the post office all the time, and they actually ended up spending more time with the labor work than they did producing stickers.
Yeah, it's a big waste of time if you're running your own business.
Absolutely. But I do have good news. You don't have to ship your own orders if you run an online store. Fulfill Right can take care of your order fulfillment for you, saving you time, money, and stress. That means more time doing what you love.
Really? Delegating grunt work like shipping to someone you can trust is a secret to business success. Fulfill Right is the most trusted name in order fulfillment. The reviews back the statement up too. Fulfill Right has 5 stars on Shopify, Google reviews, and Trustpilot from over 100 businesses, just like your buddies.
Yep. Wow. I'm going to go to fulfillright.com right now, and I'm going to ask for a quote, but I'm going to use the special TechTime link, which is fulfillright.com/TechTime. That's fulfillright.com/TechTime. They're offering $100 off new signups for TechTime listeners. You get a lot when you sign up from these guys. Service includes same-day shipping, real-time order and inventory tracking, dedicated customer service, and volume-based discount.
You know, that sounds like a great way to get your time back if your business is really taking off. To learn more about how Fulfill Right can grow your business, go to fulfillright.com/TechTime for $100 off when you sign up.
I'm signing up today. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Guess what? Our favorite sponsor's back.
Oh, it's the puzzle dude from Unidragon.
That's right, Unidragon. Yep, unidragon.com. They have a brand new item. It's called the Playful Parrots. It's a 5-in-1 puzzle that comes on out that actually comes all the way up to the brand new size, which is the royal size. Now they're small, medium, king size, and royal size. So you can get 7 times bigger than the standard puzzle. What do you think about the Playful Parrots? Being a pirate adventurer that you are, Mike, what say you?
Oh, the owl's jealous.
The owl's jealous? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What's the owl saying about the parrots?
Oh, there's 5 of them and 1 of him.
That's right. That's what happens. You know what? When you're the original, sometimes you get replaced and upgraded. So if you want to get upgraded in your puzzles, now's the time to go to unidragon.com. Again, that's unidragon.com. Don't be fooled by other imitation puzzle makers. Only get your true puzzle from unidragon.com. They're the best, and they're the world's leader in wooden puzzles. Tech Time listeners, use promo code DRAGONTECH. Again, that's DRAGONTECH for a 10% discount code. Discount expires on August 1st, 2021. They're no longer 3 sizes, Mike. Guess how many there are now?
They're 4 sizes.
That's right. They're 4 sizes. Make sure to visit techtimeradio.com/sponsors and click on the Order Now button to go directly to Unidragon. Our #1 sponsor says thank you, and the owl is jealous. This is the segment we've been waiting all day for. It's now time for Gwen's Golden Goodie.
He had a ball making that.
Wow, waiting all day.
Yeah.
Nathan, I know we've thrown you under the bus a lot, but thank you. Hard to live up to. So
what's our goodie for today?
the goodie for today is kind of a reminder. You know, I know I was a little harsh on Microsoft earlier. I was really upset about Print Nightmare because it really did affect an overwhelming number of people.
So what exactly happened?
So Print Nightmare was a way that people could, bad actors, if you will, could connect into a computer using a networked printer.
Okay.
And create their own admin.
Uh-huh.
Allowing them to basically do whatever they wanted. It affected personal PCs, it affected businesses, anything that was running Windows.
Okay, so somebody would search out my printer, say, and because of the connection piece between the wireless to my computer,
they would be able to log into your computer.
Okay.
Exactly. So it was a huge deal. And I know I was upset about it, and I still am upset about it. It was a huge deal. But we have to keep in mind that Microsoft, as big as they are, kind of like Apple, as big as they are, they're going to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
They are large corporations that are just run by people. So things like this are going to happen. That's why it is so important for individuals to take their own cybersecurity so seriously.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So that sounds good. So thank you, Microsoft, for being so on the ball here.
Right.
All right. So that's it for Gwen's Golden Goodies. And guess what time it is?
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings.
I love that we got to hear the
Let's see
sound.
what bubbles to the top.
I know. Okay, so it's time for the big reveal. How did R&R Rich and Rare Canadian whiskey, 80 proof, $14 a bottle, go for you?
So I have two things.
You should say what you said off air about giving it to a 21-year-old.
Exactly. First of all, if you want to ensure that your 21-year-old does not drink, this is a $15 insurance policy. I'm just saying.
So that's a thumbs up for you, huh?
No. And the second thing I said, I'm going to have to revisit my answer to the question earlier on the loaded question of the day.
Mm-hmm.
This not only made me tear up, it also made my sinuses drain. So I think a shot of that and then a nap is a great way to cure a cold.
All right. So that's a good cure cold. So I'm going to say that you're giving it a thumbs down.
Oh, an enthusiastic thumbs down.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was saying that there is this really nice, sweet taste that lasts less than a second before it is overwhelmed by a tidal wave of grossness. So I'm going to give that a thumbs down. So we got 2 thumbs down for R&R, and I think this is in the running for the worst whiskey alongside of Kentucky's Worst, which...
Well, which one would be worse then? That one or Kentucky's Worst?
I don't know. We might have to have a worst off at some point and just sort of compare and contrast them.
Mike, as much as I enjoy guesting on the show and being here and working with you, I do not want to guest on the show with the worst off.
Yeah, no, that's definitely gonna have to be Nathan here.
Yeah,
he needs to
experience
the awesomeness of rich and rare Canadian whiskey. All right, so Gwen, we're all out of time. On the second hour, we're gonna have our letter segment where we'll be reading this week's email scams and funny phishing attempts. We will be talking with Phil Hennessy on Ask the Expert.
I'm so excited. I love space.
I do too. I'm a big fan. Phil is the CEO of Morpheus Tech and a space enthusiast all the way from his childhood, where he attended a lot of space camps. The question we want to know is, well, will people die on Mars? And I think we can probably answer that right now. We just want to know what that's going to look like.
Exactly how they're going to die. I did like that you went for the more positive in the first, and will people survive?
Yeah, I tried to.
But at this point, yeah, we're just going to embrace the death.
There we go.
I think it's this.
It might be the whiskey. Yeah, speaking. We're also going to be talking about the current billionaire space races. I know everybody has an opinion on that, and I've seen a lot of negative opinions lately. Since Nathan is gone, obviously anything's on the table, and we have thrown him under the bus several times today. So we have Gwen, who's going to challenge both David and I on 2 truths and a lie. And
it's a handicap match.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure that during the hour we have made you go at least once, and hopefully made you laugh and have fun. So join us for hour 2 of TechTime Radio, and we will see you in just a few minutes. Oh, okay. Well,
we just got a finger. That is my first official finger, and I don't understand.
That's David. That's David.
I think it may be a reaction to us offering him a taste of the whiskey.
Do you want a taste of the whiskey?
Yeah. that is the right answer right there. It's not good.
It's not good. Yeah. I can't stress this enough, Nathan. This was a really low trick. This was low down, and you're busted. And I hope you're listening right now, because you are going to stay busted, because this is some gross stuff. All right, so we're going to keep talking, I guess.
Which works. I mean, it just means that we got through everything.
I know. That's so unusual. I don't know what to do now that...
I mean, not only did we get the whiskey music, but we get to keep talking. I mean, this is bonus time. I love this.
Yeah.
So, since we're in bonus time, do you have any mesmerizing moments for us?
Wow, that's really something. That's really a lot to lay on me after I've been tasting this whiskey all day long.
I mean, your mesmerizing moment could be about the whiskey. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Why would people drink terrible whiskey?
Well, as most people. So here we go. This is a way to medicate our pains in life, and that's usually what we do this for. So this particular whiskey would be something that we just want to just get blasted on and not think about the thing. So we finally got the outro music going, and as my mesmerizing moment just probably hit as well as this did my tongue, we're going to move on to hour 2. And thank you for listening to hour 1. Nathan, you are in such big trouble. So
huge trouble, Nathan. Absolutely huge trouble.
All right, so we'll see you back here in a few minutes. Thank you for listening. For Tech Time Radio, I am Mike Gourday. We got David behind the board, and we have Gwen Way sitting in the mic seat.
We look forward to hearing from you again next hour.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on Tech Time Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at Tech Time Radio, remember, mum's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.